Yo, what up? Welcome to the Come Up, guys. I'm right here on my man TraaviiDaLoc. The Come Up is something we got for all the young up and coming aspiring artists that aren't too far into their career yet. And before we start, before we start, we're gonna give a shout out to our sponsors. Of course, of course, my fave, Royalty Honey. Make sure you guys check out. This is a gift for you, big dog.
Oh shit, good looking out, my boy.
This is
Appreciate that.
TraaviiDaLoc.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name TraaviiDaLoc. Right here, posted up with my boy Eyekon. You know, you looked at with some honey pack.
Sick
Yeah, go
ass.
tap in with that.
Do
Got
you
your high not going crazy at nighttime.
have you ever used a honey pack?
I never used one.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Something like that.
You have something like that.
Something like that.
I'm not saying you need it, fool, because obviously you're still young. You look like you're in shape. Probably all right. But that,
I don't really be needing it, but I'll
it's
show it to
like
the homies though.
it's like a little steroid shot.
Little, little
She's
razzle
gonna
dazzle.
she's gonna feel pressed if you don't perform the way you do off a honey pack every time after.
For sure, for sure.
Shout out to my
Yeah.
people over at Cookies. This bag is for you, brother. You do not need to open it on camera. It's not necessary, but it does, as you could tell by the weight of that bag.
Shout out to my homie Eyekon right here, showing love, you know. I appreciate that one.
Don't trip. I got you. There's no Shaka medium right now. I'm sorry about that.
No, you good, you good.
But that's definitely a whole cookies fit and a gang of paraphernalia, we'll say.
For sure.
Of course, shout out to Shaka. You see it, the brand new socks, the whole fish Shaka. You already know how it
Shout
goes.
out Shaka.
And if you guys are in the market for a new vehicle, make sure you check out Effortless Motors. They got everything from Shaq's IQ Escalade all the way down to your Tia's Corolla.
She got the tia rolling in the Corolla.
Yeah, I know. My suegra's about to get a Corolla right now. No cap.
Hey, as long as they get you from point A to point B, you know? That's all that matters.
I feel it. Travi. Travi, where did you grow up and what was it like growing up there, my bro?
I grew up in Compton, bro. Um, you know, it was rough growing up because we didn't have it like that, you know, because at a young age, I had moved. I had moved from here when I was 2 years old to Mexico.
Oh, shit.
So I didn't come back until I was like 7 years old. And we got back over here to Anaheim. We stayed right there with one of my aunts. And then from right there we ended up moving to Paramount, right next to Compton. So I ended up going to school right there. And I basically grew up right there. I went to middle school right there. But during like seventh grade I ended up moving over there towards Compton. So I was still living in Compton, but I was going to school in Paramount. So like my middle school years and all that, I went to school in Paramount. And then my ninth grade year, I went to Paramount to the ninth grade campus. I ended up getting kicked out from right there. They ended up sending me over there to some school over there in Compton. You know, in
A high
between
school or a
a
continuation type?
continuation school right there. You know, in between some two known neighborhoods. You know, so that shit was cracking right there. But you know, it's nothing for me to glorify about. You know, it was just a lot of shit that was going on. But it was rough, you know, just everybody running the mud, being young, being young and dumb, full of cum, you know.
Did you get any trouble other than getting kicked out of
um,
school?
with the law,
Mm-hmm.
nah, I never got like,
Thank God.
thank God, I never got arrested, you know, because that's one thing my older homies always taught me, you know, like it's done to be locked up, fool, you know, like you don't. That's not a place that you want to be at, you know, because you already know, like you know, you're either gonna end up one way or another way. So I always listen to my older homies, you know.
I feel it.
Growing up, I had good clutch from good older homies, so I just take that into consideration.
What'd you get kicked out of school for?
It was a racial riot going on, and they blamed that shit on me, so they kicked me out of there. They kicked all the homies out of there. Some of their other fools ended up getting kicked out of there.
And you fools all ended up going to the same continuation?
Nah, they just split us apart because they try to say that, you know, we got together, clicked up together,
I
and
was just gonna
fucking
continue.
yeah, you know, just We were just squabbling. It was going back and forth. So it was like homies was getting jumped, running face back to back. So it just ended up like into some riots and shit, like couple riots. Even after I left, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sick asshole. So during this time, obviously you rap now. Throughout middle school and high school, did you ever think that you wanted to rap? Were you freestyling with your homies, joking around, or you weren't at all yet?
When I was like 13, yeah, I started like around rapping when I was like 13 years old. But I didn't start taking rap serious just until like a year
Recently.
ago.
Yeah,
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 that
yeah.
my management, you know,
We'll get
shout
to
out
that.
Immaculate Records, you know.
No, yeah, don't even trip. We'll get to Big Mac and all of that shortly. Um, when you were in middle school or whatever, what was it that made you want to like freestyle with the homies? Did the older homies rap or like how did you fall into it?
Nah, to be honest, it was more like I fell in love with Chicano rap, you know, that was my shit, you know,
Who?
like
I need to know who right now.
Mr. Shadow, you know,
That's
Mr.
right.
Little One, you know, all of that. We were bumping all of that. So that was just my shit right there. So I feel like me when I would hear those old school beats, like I would that shit, you know,
Hmm.
like I don't know, something about rap always just made me wanna do it, you know, like I would hear my brothers bump rap, that's all I grew up with, you
And
know.
they were bumping Chicano rap too.
They'll bump Tupac, Chicano rap, everything, you know.
Everything.
Yeah, so I grew up around like just rap and that's something that became my passion, you know.
I'm not mad at it. Can you remember the first time you ever rapped or tried?
I was like 13, 13
Where?
at school
With the homies?
with the homies, yeah, little freestyles, you know, in the lunch areas.
Or was it a cool like circles would ever come around you fools? Like it would be like, oh shit,
Yeah,
this shit
yeah. Well,
fuck
all
me
the
up.
homies would get right there and they'll be like, "Damn, fool! Like you fools are going out," because it was me and a couple other homies, you know. That would be
Of
like, "Hey,
course.
fool, you know, like just hop on it, you know, it. Like we're just with the homies, hop on that shit." So they'll just be like, "Hey, dude, that shit sounds hard," you know. So from there, I started writing down from right there. It just became something normal, and then I just kept doing it throughout the years. But I didn't take it professionally till like a year ago.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So obviously you're from 13 till now is a couple of years. Why didn't you ever try to take it seriously before? Obviously you're in school and getting in trouble, but like how come you never tried to take it more serious before?
I I did try. I just had a lot of personal life problems going on, you know, like with my hi-fi and stuff, you know, like because at the time she was fighting cancer, so she fought cancer for like almost 2 years. So throughout that time, you know, it was hard to like be trying to take it serious while I was trying to take care of her,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So you know, eventually she ended up passing away, you know, and
Rest in
when,
peace to your mother,
you
my
know,
dog.
yeah, thank you, bro, appreciate that. You know, and that's what I do it for too, you know. That's someone that was really a big inspiration for me, you know, because that was someone that was really a hustler that showed me, you know, how to hustle the right way, you know.
No, absolutely. I feel it. That
My
shit
heifer
was
was the tamale lady right there in Compton.
really?
Yeah,
She was popular?
yeah, right there in the Home Depot right there in Compton. If you know, you know. She was the tamale lady. People used to love her tamales right there.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's crazy. Fuck. So, how did you how did you end up hooking up with the homie Big Mac?
He's been in my life. He's my family, you know. He's been in my life since I was a year old. You know, he's my brother-in-law. Um, from there, you know, that's righteous homie, you know, showed me really good klecha, showed me really good ways. I always followed it, and he always had good advice for me, so I always took it. And for me, it was like he's more than just a homie; he's like a father figure to me, you know.
That's awesome. That's right. So, when did you guys decide, like, hey, let's take this rap shit serious? Like, how'd you get to that point? Like, what
He,
were you doing that made him be like, hey, well, then?
cause he had heard my raps like throughout the years that I'll be like messing around, like fucking around, rapping and shit. He had heard my raps, and he'll be like, "Yeah, this is hard," you know. So like he always believed in me. Like he always would be like, "Yeah, fool, that's just hard right there." You know, like I fuck with that one. So I'll be like, "All right." And for him to tell me that, it was like, okay, like damn,
You
like
might be onto
yeah,
something.
like I might be onto something, because I know that he only fucks with certain type of music if it's hard, So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, then I might be onto something. So then fast forward to everything that happened with my heifer after. I ended up like really like trying to take it serious, really trying to come up, to move my family out the hood. So I talked to him and I told him, like I really want to take it serious. So he asked me, like if I wanted to do it for real, if I was really serious about it. And I told him I was. So like shout out to him, he's the one that made everything happen for me, like all the connections, everything to where I am right now.
I feel it. So you started going to the studio, obviously, and doing
Yeah.
that.
He took me to the studio over there with the homies in SD. Shout out for the homies from SD. They always showing love.
Shout out to all the boys out there. I got a lot of good homies over there.
Yeah.
Shout to Shadow, shout to Little One. I've shot a couple videos for those gentlemen. The legends are really
Hell
cool in real
yeah.
life. Have you met them?
I haven't met him now. I haven't got a chance to meet him, but we was for sure gonna meet soon.
I got you. See if I link you up with Shadow. He's a
For
great
sure, for
guy.
sure. Hey, yeah, that was my shit right there.
I
Till
know.
I died, that was my shit right there, my boy.
That's why
You
I'm
know?
saying I'll
So
make a quick call. Um, that's tight. Fucking Shadow. Shout out to Shadow. So who
shout out
who
Mr. Shadow Palabra.
who have you make music with so far? Cause I know, but I'm asking you for them. You know what I'm saying?
Uh I have a feature with my boy Rowdy Rax. Shout out my boy Rowdy Rax,
It's Roddy
Raxter.
Rags.
Yeah, the Raxter, shout out my boy. Yeah, I have a feature with Rowdy. I go tap in with that. The post that on the blog.
That's right.
That was a hard ass song right there. The homie show love. I pulled up to studio. Everything was feedback. Were good. Ended up getting to the song. We fucking made that banger and we made that shit happen. We ended up popping out to the show with him to his birthday bash.
That's
We
where I
had
met you.
Yeah, that's where I met you. Remember? Yeah, we had a
Hmm.
little performance right there, and we made that shit pop out. So you
That's just
know,
tight. That was a good show.
yeah. But we got a couple other features coming through soon too.
That's
You
right.
know, just try to line everything up right now.
Who are some people you'd like to make music with in the future?
Um, I feel like some people I would like to make music with Chito Ranas.
Shout out to my boy.
Chito, because me and Chito, I feel like I have Spanglish in my raps as well. I'm not
Hmm.
just like English rapper. I have Spanish and English in some of my music.
Hmm.
So I fuck with that food shit. It's hard. And then another one that's another hard ass rapper. Shout out X4. X4
X4
is
is a
hard as
crazy
fuck.
dude.
Yeah, I fuck with X4 heavy. So yeah.
Pretty solid. Um, what makes you want to continue to rap throughout all of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
You're not blowing up overnight. I know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what makes you want to keep going?
Because it doesn't just all happen overnight, bro. Like everything's not just gonna land in your hand like overnight. Like at first, to be honest, I didn't even see like progress at first like that.
Mm-hmm.
But once we started seeing a little progress, that little progress turns into a little more.
Facts.
You start getting a little more people that start believing in you a little more. Like now people are seeing that you're making these moves, and eventually people start catching on to your wave. And once you catch on to that wave, people start with you. You just gotta let them know who you are, and not fake it.
Pretty much. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Blown up. I'll be blown up.
That's right.
Yeah, I see myself up there. I see myself up there being like a rapper that consistently stayed on top and like just keep going up. Try to help people that are like on the come up like I was, because I understand the struggles too, as a rapper.
No, for sure. How do you feel about the state of like Latino rap in general? I don't want to call it Chicano rap, but like just in general, the whole LA scene of like all the Latinos doing it right now.
Like like their styles.
Well, what I mean is like 5 years ago, fools weren't popping the way they were popping right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's
nah.
popping, popping.
Yeah, it's
So what
popping
do you
right now.
think? What do you think about it all?
Hey, I'm happy. I'm happy about that shit. You know, all the homies are going up right now. I was seeing that shit too. You know, like it's been a lot of homies that just been blowing up.
Hmm.
So it's like I feel like we've been let into the game now. So it's like we just gotta help each other get up there. So homie, just show love and try to get up there with them.
Who are your top five favorite Latino artists right now in
For,
Cali?
for sure, Rowdy. Rowdy's hard.
Hmm.
Rowdy's hard as rapper. Uh, I gotta give it to that boy Drake's too. Drake's hard. Um, feel like another one that I was fucking with, Free the homie. I think he just came over here. Free the homie, Great Boy Blue.
Great Boy Blue, that
Um,
fool's all right on.
yeah, yeah. I had met the homie like a day before he got locked up
Oh, at
and
the
shit.
show?
Yeah, I was over there with him and shit. I had met him. They show love. But who else?
Great Boy Blue, that fool's all right. Shout out to
Yeah, the
that
homie's
fool.
hard. Yeah,
Free the homie.
yeah. Free the homie. The homie's hard. His shit was hard. And little weirdo for sure.
Shout
Hard
out to my
rapper.
pal.
And then Chito, I gotta give it to Chito too. I can't leave it out.
It's a wild guy.
He made his own little genre if you think about it. His own little Spanglish wave.
He's definitely doing. I tell that fool he needs to do this shit way more, but fools don't be listening to me all the time.
Yeah. It's just hard though. It's just hard.
Shout out to your top five. Pretty cool little list. Diverse list.
Yeah.
That's tight that you gave Gray some love because that fool's still coming up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. That's the homie right there. You gotta acknowledge it. When I heard his shit was hard. I was banging out. After I was like, hey, fool, your shit hard, fool. We chopped it up right there, outside of the cameras or whatever. But yeah, the homie showed love and free the homie.
No, for sure. I don't know how long he's gonna be down for, but I do know he's busted right now, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a whole ass interview sitting there waiting for this fool to come out so I could drop it. Um, what do you think about beats? Where are you getting beats from? Any producers that you like?
Right now, like I just been doing like YouTube beats, bro. I'll buy like a YouTube beat or something.
If you're buying them or leasing them or whatever, that's cool because then at least you
Yeah.
can fuck
But
around.
the
But
one that the one producer that I do hear a lot, like that's hard, his beats are hard, bro. Palabra is that fool FB.
oh, FB go
Yeah, FB
crazy.
go crazy. Yeah, that fool go hard right there. His beats are hard right there.
Yeah. Before and respectfully, of course, I had never really heard of the homie FB, but Lefty would always talk about that fool. Lefty would always talk about that fool. And I was like, damn, all right, for sure. And then he ended up linking up with him, and then boom.
Yeah, yeah. They ended up getting some shit cracking.
Nah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen that.
I would suggest making sure that you lease your beats at the very least. So that way you can
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
one get the tag off of them, and two, you can make some feria with it. Because otherwise, you're just gonna be
Just
not making feria, which is
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I don't know how many songs you haven't done that, or how many songs you've just gave a fuck on. He's like, oh,
Hey, fool. As long as I got the hardest song on it, like whoever's just hardest.
I'm telling you right now, too. Another crazy thing is, and guys, you could chalk this up to good game. I've seen fools that don't know each other for shit, but you guys are in the same little racket, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like at that show, there was a gang of homies performing at that show that the
yeah,
homies did.
yeah,
Um, sometimes fools use the same beat, and all of a sudden you fools could have been cool, but since you use the same beat, now it's like nah, fuck. First it's I did that
yeah,
nah,
yeah,
I killed that shit better. Then it turns into fool, then it turns into whoever sides with each other is fool, you know what I mean? That could be
yeah,
if that could be crazy.
yeah. That could be crazy too, but
That could be whack.
yeah, but at the end of the day too, it's like it's not even all that, Like it's just like, at the end of the day. But I do see it like in that way too,
I know
you
three
know.
different times recently. That's just. I've even shot the same. When I used to still film music videos, I've shot music videos For two different fools on the same beat.
on the same beat. Yeah, I've heard the same at beat going around right now with a couple different rappers too. So it's like I feel like everybody's just trying to do that, to see who hops on it better. Like fuck it, whoever hops on it better is my shit. I'm
Because what if
trying,
it's a hard ass song, fool, that you have, and then someone bigger than you drops it, or whatever?
and
If
if that,
someone bigger than you drops it, maybe it's okay. But if we're all equals and we're all dropping the same shit, could be an issue. Fuck it. If you don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying.
I mean, a lot of people been doing the samples lately,
I've heard a couple of the same samples recently. Some people flipped it a little differently than others.
like older samples. Like that fool Bravo, I seen that fool been doing like samples of like the older beats
Like
like that.
West Coast beats.
Like was it that Chris Brown one that he did with Peso? That
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh
was
yeah,
like an
yeah, yeah,
order
yeah. That's
beat,
just tight.
and that was like a sample.
I'm gonna
So
plug you on my boy Rare One. That fool can remake some fire ass beats
yeah, for sure,
for
for
the
sure.
low. And then not only that, he's the main engineer at the Wrecking Spot. You heard of the Wrecking Spot?
It sounds familiar.
It's
I've
like
heard
one
it
of the
before.
popular, super
Yeah,
popular
I've
studios.
heard it. I've heard the name, but I haven't been there. Yeah,
No, well, that obviously, if you get a beat from him, then you could go record with him, and then da 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 da. He's one of the best engineers too. It's a whole ass vibe.
for sure.
Anyways, talk to me about like how your mom and dad felt about your music, or
So
you trying to make music rather.
this goes way back, bro. Cause my dad was a musician himself,
What did
but
you do?
but he's more like old Mexican corridos like Ramon Ayala
That's cool.
and stuff like that. So he was already a musician. So when I was growing up, I was doing that. Like when I was like 7 years old, to what I could remember, he was like he had his own group. So he had his own grupo. And they used to go to parties, and he used to have this spot where he used to work at right there, a Marisco spot. And I just remember my mom used to always be my biggest supporter. She always used to like have me dress good. Like she'll be having me go up there to go sing. Like she always believing in me, bro. Even at random parties. Like at the parties that I'll go with her and shit. Like and my pops at the time, like that he'll go play. She'll be like go up there and sing, and she'll have me dress good and everything because she knew she was gonna have
She
me
already
go
knew.
up there and sing.
Yeah.
Like so I feel like that helped me and it prepared me for like being a rapper. It's just I don't think like they like the genre, and they
No, of
they they, they
course.
wasn't because they're like old school Mexican, like both my parents are straight Mexican, like straight from Guerrero. Like my mom was straight from Guerrero, and
Oh,
my,
they're from
my
Guerrero.
yeah, my dad's straight from Guerrero too. So it's like straight Mexican, like old school. So they didn't really like all the rap shit and stuff like that, even with my brothers and stuff like that. But obviously we didn't really care because we like that shit.
You
But yeah, bro, that's more how I got into it with the.
got any other family members that are musically inclined or that dabble in the music?
Yeah, I have cousins, but in the corrido industry, like one of my cousins, corrido, would do a lot of stuff for that records,
Shout out
and
to Dell.
then yeah, so he knows a bunch of them people, but it just like when I was around 12, 13, I just decided like I didn't want to do that no more. I didn't want to do corridos and stuff like that no more.
Rap.
I wanted to rap with the homies. I wanted to fuck around, fucking do what I had to do. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what ended up leading to, and then from there, just the rest was history. Just kept building and building until I found my manager and we made it happen.
No, I feel it. So your family's from Guerrero and you moved over there when you were 2, but you came back. Why'd you guys come back?
Because things had got bad over there, bro. It was getting bad. If like with the stuff in Mako, so it was getting bad. So we had to just say, we're gonna come vacation and stuff, and then we came, and then we didn't
That
go
was
back.
that.
Yeah, we didn't go back because my pops he couldn't go out no more neither because he ended up getting locked up. He ended up getting locked up for like
Over here or over there?
yeah right here. Yeah, he ended up getting locked up right here. Got locked up right there in Orange County, and they ended up letting him out, but he ended up coming out on probation, so he couldn't go out to Mexico throughout those years.
I
So we were
feel it.
just right here the whole time.
Your dad's still with us?
Yeah, he's still with us.
That fool, did your dad ever get his papers?
Yeah, my dad had his papers.
Oh, lucky ass fool.
Yeah, he
I
has his
was
papers.
gonna ask you, what do you think about all this deportation shit?
Oh, that's just crazy, bro. That shit just fucking hit me out of nowhere. Like that shit just started happening. I was like, fuck.
Anybody you know get affected?
Not that I know of right now, but I hope none of my family members have to go through that, because we all got family out here that's like that, bro.
Nah, I
Trying to
can
earn a
totally feel
living
it.
too, so that's just up, dog.
I know someone that got picked up from work. That shit
Fuck.
crazy. I've talked about it a gang of times on the that we do, but yeah. What music you got out right now?
I got out a song named Donald Trump. It's gonna cause a little controversy because of the name, but it had nothing to do with that. It's hard, it's hard, and I got another song called Faux Nikki. Y'all go tap in with that. That's just hard as fuck. I got more upcoming songs. I got LA to Dago. That one's out already. Apple Music, all platforms. Bitches Ain't Shit. Music videos out and post on the blog. My boy Rowdy, we got that video out too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any songs you got dropping soon?
Yeah, I got one that's dropping soon. Probably hit the studio soon and get it out the way. Make some music videos and shit.
I feel it. You have a music video out with Rowdy. You guys shot that shit on an iPhone?
Yeah, fool, we shot that shit in the iPhone.
You fools are wild.
Hey, fool, we've been doing this shit on a budget, dog. That's what I'm telling you, fool. Like if you really want to be an artist, bro, you're gonna do it no matter what you got. Like you're gonna use your tools, whatever you got, bro. It could even take one video or reel, post that shit on TikTok or something. You might have seen some progress. That's something that helped me to see progress with myself. People,
Mm-hmm.
people from different places were showing more love than people from my section.
Of course.
So yeah, bro. It's just all about believing in that.
I feel it. Well, shit. Is there anything you want to leave the people with before we clock out, my G?
Shit, I go just tap in with my music. Show your boy TraaviiDaLoc some love, and we finna have a lot of upcoming stuff soon, features like you say.
Facts.
And then shout out Mr. Shadow, shout out Mr. Lil One, shout out all the Chicano rap legends. They're the ones that started this, bro.
Make sure you guys follow the homie Travi. His Instagram is in the beginning of this episode. Check out all my sponsor links below. Tune
Hey,
in to all this cool shit.
shout out Cookies, shout out Cookies for real though for the package. About to be dripped out.
Haha.
You already know. Your
Cookies.
Heina might get stolen tonight, so you better watch out.
Haha. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and we're out of here.
That's crazy.